Hello everyone, welcome to the fourth episode of our live stream where we will build the Messerschmitt Bf-108 from Eduard in 1/48 scale. In this episode we are going to continue with on our cockpit area, and also I'm going to show you first something that I have done during this week. And this is to make a first print on my 3D printer, which I have from several times ago. Hold on a sec. Sorry about that. So this is my second attempt. The first one just got screwed up by me taking not taking one step, missing it, and this is my second attempt, which I'm very happy with. And this is NASA emblem, which is going on my DC9 stand. So this is resin, and it's just like the resin that we use on our models, but it is using UV light to cure. And this is the lowest quality of the print. It's 100 microns, and the best quality that this printer can get is between 25 and 35 microns, so it can do some really nice prints, but it needs some, people say that it has steep learning curve. So let's continue with our build. First I'm going to mount the seats, so I can later mount the seat belts on them. I hope you hear me, because I have turned off my sound so it doesn't get weird sounds around. So to install these seats, I'm going to first remove some of the paint in order to have better adhesion. I'm going to do that using curved blade. Hello to Potato. Maybe it will be better to use a brush instead of blowing into the microphone. So I have had some small issues with the color of the instrument panel, the photo etch instrument panel, and I'm thinking actually of not using it. This kit provides very nice plastic part with hollowed instrument faces, and also a decal for the instrument faces, so it can become really nice instrument panel without the photo etch parts. As usual, I'm going to use Mr. Cement for gluing this in place. Don't hesitate to tell me if anything is wrong with the picture or with the sound that you have or anything, and also please tell me your suggestions, your thoughts on this build or otherwise, so we can form some nice discussion. Thanks, Michael, for the confirmation that the sound is coming to you, and hello to everyone. I found out that there is not too much information about this aircraft, not much pictures of preserved airplanes that have not been altered in some way, so I figured that I'm not going to get too concerned about some of the colors that I'm using, because I can't really know if they are correct or not. I have seen some pictures of Bf-109s that were modified to look like Bf-108s to look like Bf-109s, and that's a little bit weird for me, but you know, they have the plane, they can do whatever they want with it. Okay, der Modelbauhandwerker, I think I pronounced it right, wants to know more about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So right now we are attaching the seat on its position, so I can attach the seat belts, because this is a two-piece seat and the seat belts are essentially coming from the backrest down to the seat. They are folded in the middle, so I cannot install the seat belts without having the seat in its place. So now we again have to assemble some photo etch seat belts. I'm going to use a regular cyanoacrylate type of super glue. I'm going to use offcut from stretch sprue for application. But before we start, with gluing, I have to remove the excess material from these photo etch parts using a file. The metal goes away very easily. The only thing you should know is that you have to file along the edge, not across the edge, because if you do it across the edge you just bend the part, you're not going to file it. After we're done with the cleanup, we're going to glue this section of the seat belt to the actual belt. These photo etch seat belts are very nice, but they're a little bit bright for my taste, and later we're going to put some wash on them, just like a filter, so it reduces this color. Have in mind that these things are very small, and are also, because they are small, they are very they are very easy to be influenced by surface tension. This means that they can just stick to your gloves or whatever without having glue on them. So, having this in mind, you should be careful. If you feel uncomfortable using super glue for this task, you can use the gel type, which sets a little bit slower and you have more time, or you can also use clear varnish, and you can use canopy glue or white glue, which is readily available. So now when the belts are done, we will put them in their places, and to do that, first I'm going to bend them so I don't have to bend them with the super glue on. And then I'm going to put them on the seat. Just like this. Okay, I'll let it dry a little bit so I can bend the part on the backrest. Don't worry about the super glue that's around the belt. We are going to cover it with some satin clear later. Nope, I'm not a German. I'm Bulgarian. Which is probably why so much people think that due to my accent think that I'm Russian. I'm not Russian. I'm Bulgarian. Well, it's nice or not nice, it is what it is. So, thanks anyway. Eastern European women are popular yet difficult to master. So a little bit more of the same. And we are going to be ready with this step. So what do you guys think? What the color of the instrument panel of this airplane should be? I'm thinking something dark gray, very dark gray, almost black, like I think RLM 66 was the color, the late war cockpit color. Alright, we are done with this almost. And if I can find my applicator, it fell down on the ground. I don't want to put too much glue here on the bench, but because I don't want to have a big batch of glue, but in the same time I don't know how to make them to adhere properly without having enough glue. Okay, that's enough. I'm putting this aside, and next thing to do is going to be on the front seat. The other one is done. I'll have to get the pencil. Now, if you remember, we did some piping on the seats, and now I'm going to enhance them using a watercolor pencil with lighter color than the brown seat. This way we are going to pick up this detail and make it more prominent. And there is, nice and easy. I don't know if you can see it good enough. I hope so. So now I'm going to apply some satin varnish on this seat, because it's opaque now, and it's something like leather, so it should not be matte. I'm going to use ammo of Mick Jimenez satin clear. As this is an acrylic paint, it's not hard to lay it down using a brush. I haven't diluted it, for me it's good out of the container. The sides are not going to be seen, but just in case I'm going to put a layer of varnish here as well. The satin varnish is giving a nice finish and realistic, somewhat realistic look to the leather. And it's something that's easy to do. And now this is going to be done to this seat as well. It started raining outside. If this sound is coming to you very annoyingly, please tell me, I'll close the window. Okay, this is it for this step, and I think it looks okay. Next on the list is to apply just a little bit of wash on the seat belts so they don't look so bright and white and new. It will be more like a filter, as I said. So this is a panel line wash from MIG, ammo of MIG. I don't know if you have followed what's going on the social networks. This uh, I don't want to call it war, but it is something similar between Miguel Jimenez and his former colleagues from MIG Productions and AK Interactive. I find that a little bit awkward. Why should we care about their stuff? I mean, we should only care about the quality of their products, nothing else. Okay, so this was a quick but I think very needed job. I don't know if you can see properly the difference between the treated and untreated belts. I'm going to leave the uppermost part the whitest because there is where the most light hits the actual seat, and it should be highlighted. In case we have put more than desired, it can be easily removed using a makeup applicator sponge or with brush dipped in some white spirit. Okay. And finally the rear seat belt or the rear seat belt. Next thing to do will be to paint the boots of the control sticks. This will be done with the same color I used for the seats, same base color. This is camouflage medium brown from Vallejo in their Vallejo Air series. The paint is with good consistency right out of the container, so it doesn't need ink or anything. It is their airbrush series, but I find it a little bit thick for airbrushing straight out of the container, so on the other hand it is good for straight brushing with the paintbrush. Hello to Hillerson, thanks for tuning in. Also I will paint the handles as well in the same color. This summer is very rainy here. I just did a you know what, and I'll have to clean it up. I'll try with some isopropyl alcohol, and if I ruin the paint job underneath, I'll have to paint it again, which is unfortunate, but as some people say, shit happens. Okay, this is almost gone. I planned anyways to add some dust on the weathering, so I'm going to search the good instead of the bad outcome. Well, continuing with the brown paint. So next thing is to add some lighter color to the brown, so I can make some highlights. For the task, I'm going to use this Arena Oscura from Vallejo. This is not the modeler, this is the regular series, and it's very thick paint. I'm going to create a mixture with these two colors. This is too bright, and some more brown. I think that this will be just fine, I hope. I'm going to add it to the top of the handles where the light is most likely to hit the surface. The boots have some rips on them, so I'm going to try to highlight them with this mixture. As I said in the previous episode, the acrylic colors need to dry before you can really see. The acrylic paints actually need to dry before you can really see their actual color. So after this dries, I will decide whether I will add a blending layer or I'll just leave it like that. Another thing that needs such a brownish paint is going to be the handle here. Like that. I think that this might need a little bit of adjustment, so I'm going to add a few drops of isopropyl alcohol and then create a filter, brown filter, which then I'm going to apply to the areas we just painted. Okay. This looks much better, for me at least. I'm still gonna leave the top parts of the handles with this lighter color, so they are more prominent. Well, I think we are ready with this thing. Now I'm going to clean the paintbrush, and then we are going to add to the sidewall a little bit of gray color, which would represent two dials that I suppose are in some connection with the wheels that are for the trim tabs adjustment. These two here are gray elements with some black dials in them. And also I'm going to paint the handle of this lever gray. Not that this is very different from the surrounding area, but it's like that on the real aircraft, so why not do it? Now we're going to add some more photo etch, and also these adjustment wheels here, which are so typical. And the first part that goes in is photo etch part number 27, which happens to be this one here. It is supposed to represent a chain drive mechanism, I think, or something not with chain but with cables. It should be something like this. Inside there is quite a lot more details to this, but frankly I'm not going to put any scratch building efforts on this build, because these side walls have very steep angle, they incline inwards, so it will be very hard to see anything, especially given the fact that the seat is right next to this area. Okay, that's in. And something that I will do is to put a coat of satin clear so it doesn't look so shiny. Okay, next thing is this guy. I don't think there is any point in placing these things under any kind of angle, I mean rotationally. So there is one more chain or cable drive here, which I'll just cut out of the part 3. And we will check how this goes before we... Hello to Jean-Marc Gasly, and I'm sorry but I don't understand what you have written. As you can see, these are a bit too long, so I'm going to cut them. That's why you should always do some dry fit, just in case someone in the engineering department of the producer company was having a nap at the time when he created this kit or the photo etch part. Oftentimes when I have this problem, the part disappears when I hold it stronger. It flicks off somewhere, you just hear it click somewhere and then there it is, it's gone forever. Okay, that should be enough. Another satin clear treatment, so it's not so bright and shiny. And it's time for the final wheel. just like this. Okay, maybe I can rotate it a little bit just for being more interesting. I don't know if it is correct to be that way, but it doesn't really matter. So this side panel is done, and next thing to do is to apply some metallic paint on the pedals, and we are going to do this with this Prismacolor pencil. Ever since I got this pencil, I'm very much into finding other things like these pencils, sharp markers and stuff like this to help with painting the small details. I just ordered a few colored colors of some sharp markers designed for sketching artists, and I think that they will be in great use for modeling as well. So we're going to continue using this silver pencil to add some scratches and wear on the paint to bare metal, where the pilot would rest his feet on when he's pressing the pedals. The movement would scratch and eventually remove some of the paint on the floor. I don't know if you can see this. Hello to History Geek. Let me try to make it easier for you to see. Okay, so there it is. You can see the shiny parts. Also, we should not forget the passengers. They also make some damage to the floor with their feet. And next, I'm going to use dry pastel with some very short haircutted brush to put some dirt on the floor. Here is how the pastel looks, and here is how I'm going to scratch off some of the. You can see, maybe you can see that some dust is coming off this pastel. This is just like the pigments and weathering powders that we are buying from the modeling shops. And you can buy these pastels for very little money in quite a lot of colors, and you can make your own stuff with them. I don't think there is any difficulties using this instead of pre-made. Okay, so we did some dirtying with this big brush. I'm going to remove the excess, these particles that haven't uh, adhered good to the surface. I'm going to add some more of this dirt to the lower parts of the side walls. I think that there might be some dirt accumulation down there. It is not very stark, blends in nicely in my opinion, so it's worth it for me at least. Here I'm going to add it as well, and maybe some around the wheels, because with people touching these wheels and rubbing against the material behind them, they can just get dirty. I don't think that operational aircrafts were kept meticulously clean, and I don't even think they were cleaned at all. So such a weathering effect can be applied without the risk of being untrue to the facts. Some more here. And some to the, but this will be for the next time. So what we'll do next is to remove this thing first, clean my hands, and then I'm going to assemble the sidewalls and the cockpit. If you're using bull tack to hold your parts for painting, you have to be very careful because it is quite, it can grab the parts very heavily, and you can twist them, bend them, break them, and a bunch of not very pleasant things can happen to your parts. So here we are assembling the cockpit. It is a major milestone in building this model. One of the first milestones, but still a milestone. Again, using Mr. Cement S, I'm going to let it flow inside the designated contact areas. Hold it for a while and it should be okay. Or not so okay. A little bit more will be necessary to gain strength. You see what I'm talking about the edge that these sidewalls make. It's just hiding everything away. Something that I might haven't, maybe I haven't told you. I think I for sure will cut the canopy I'm not decided yet whether I'll cut the two doors or just one of the doors. Maybe you can push me towards one or the other option and help me decide. Next I'll insert this part because it kept on breaking and I decided to leave it for the latest possible time. Again I'm going to use some of this magic liquid, Mr. Cementes, to secure this part in place, and hopefully it will not be breaking anymore. Now I'm going to carefully position the other sidewall. And I'm gluing it in place. Hello to Brad. So this middle piece here, that is living in between the two seats, I'm going to paint in the same dark color that I think will paint the instrument panel. So I'm going to paint them together, and because this is not going to happen today, I'm not going to install the seats yet, but just for getting the idea how everything looks, I'm going to put them in place. Thanks to Clone Fox for the nice words. And there it is, the Messerschmitt Bf-108 cockpit, almost finished. with some details left to be done, but the majority of the parts are in. And I hope you like today's live stream, and that you will come by the next time. Follow my channel. I will schedule the next stream as soon as I know for sure that when I will do it. And also hit the notification bell, so you are sure to be you will be notified whenever something new comes out. And the next video that I'm preparing right now is going to be the second part of the MiG-21 video build series, the in-depth video build that I'm doing on the Eduard's 1/72 scale MiG-21. So until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for being here, and until next time, happy modeling and be healthy. Goodbye for now.